We stand here this evening, shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, representing the unity of opposites, the eternal connection in a world of change. The unity of opposites was first suggested in the year 535 BC by the Greek philosopher Heraclitus. And here in the year 2011, we stand together. While it may appear that we are different in many ways, we are wrapped in the cloak of unity. Different people standing side by side, connected with the same body of beliefs, the same mind, that one day we will be celebrating the peace and security in the Middle East and throughout the world.
We are Rabbi David Kirshner and Reverend Oscar King, and tonight we greet you in the marvelous name of God who created all of us. We stand on the shoulders of the ones who went before us, arm in arm, locked in friendship and in unity. In the time of the Bible, Jonathan and David stood shoulder to shoulder, and they developed a deep and lasting friendship. We are taught that their souls were knit together, and when King Saul sought to hurt David, Jonathan protected his friend and safeguarded him from evil. They were friends that genuinely cared for each other.
Ruth and Naomi stood shoulder to shoulder. Ruth was a poor foreigner, Naomi an older and wiser woman who helped her to overcome her challenges and her difficulties. Ruth listened to the counsel of Naomi, and they reciprocated with a deep sense of loyalty. United States President Harry Truman, Israeli Prime Minister David Ben-Gurion stood shoulder to shoulder. They too could not have been more different in look or background. While divided by more than 5,000 miles, they stood together during a critical juncture in history. May the 14th in the year 1948, in a clandestine art museum in Tel Aviv, only hours before the Jewish Sabbath, David Ben-Gurion declared an independent state of Israel, and within our wait, and within minutes of hearing that news, President Harry Truman recognized this new country, and this was the beginning of a long and lasting friendship. And from that moment forward, the United States and Israel has shared a unique and unbreakable bond that is anchored in common interests, shored in equality, and rooted in shared values. From Truman and Ben-Gurion to President Obama and Prime Minister Netanyahu, divided by land and the sea, our leadership is united.
In 1964, near the town of Philadelphia, Mississippi, 3 civil rights workers, Andrew Goodman, James Chaney, and Michael Schwerner, stood shoulder to shoulder in an effort to afford all peoples the right to vote and the rewards of democracy. Sadly, they were even persecuted, imprisoned, and punished side by side. These activists made a difference through their lives and even in their deaths, working towards a better tomorrow. And it was 1 year later, in Selma, Alabama, that the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel locked arms and prayed with their feet.
Tonight, 46 years after Selma, this black Baptist preacher from Detroit and this not-so-black conservative rabbi from New Jersey stand at this podium in the full realization of our history and our future.
Whether we are Republican or Democrat, white or black, Jewish or Christian, believers or non-believers, tonight we in this room are all united by our commitment to this precious land of the United States of America and the sacred land of Israel. We pause before our leadership, and we are eternally grateful, O God, for the gift that you have given us of allowing us to see beyond difference to the underlying connections that unite us all. We thank you tonight, O God, for our history, and we thank you for our future. We thank you for our friends from the Bible, and we thank you for our friends of today. We thank you, O God, for America, and we thank you, O God, for Israel.
And at this time, we ask you, the Master of the universe, to bless the troops of these two great nations. Troops that stand on the front lines to protect our democracy and our freedom. Bless all of our legislators. Bless all of our lawmakers. Bless all of our elected officials that ensure that our relationships stand strong and resolute. May this evening be the dawn of a new light, where Israel stands shoulder to shoulder with her neighbors in peace, and allow us to stand side by side, heart to heart, in unwavering love, and in support of these two miraculous nations that give us proof of your magnificence. God bless the United States of America, and God bless Israel, and may God bless all of them. Shalom.